Hello everybody, so today I'm back, and today, as you can tell, I'm standing, not sitting, revolutionising the whole game, honestly. But basically today I'm back to do a bit of a different video to normal. Today's going to be a bit of a opinion piece / criticise myself for how bad of a reader I am. So really interesting kind of different sort of video today. I'm hoping you guys are going to enjoy it. So I've been thinking over the past few days about the kind of things which I do which are really bad reading habits. There are more than a few. I'm surprised how many I picked up on when I started going, but today I'm going to tell you a bit about my bad reading habits, and I'm intrigued to hear what you guys do that you don't think is the best thing. It'd be really good if some of you guys could tell me what you did, just so I feel less horrible about myself. But these are my 5 worst reading habits. Now, without a doubt, my worst reading habit is not finishing a series. So I used to, when I was younger, literally read all the books by one author and then move on to a new author. Now, because there's so many books, now working at a bookshop, I just see so much I want to read. I kind of dip and dart between different genres and different styles, and I much more go based on what books I find interesting rather than a book by an author that I've read. This extends even to series. So for example, one of my favourite first books in a series I've read recently, the Brandon Sanderson Mistborn books. I still haven't read the second. It's been 4 or 5 months. I've not even thought about picking up the second yet, even though I know I will enjoy it. And I could literally list off, there's so many series by Garth Nix, there's a Jeff Vandermeer series, there's Con Eagleton series, there's the Karlsruhe Safon books, that I just start the series and I get so distracted I don't finish them, and it really winds me up that I do it, but I constantly find myself picking new things to read, not finishing ones I've already started. Now the next one is even worse. Sometimes, not only do I not finish a series, sometimes I will give up on a book halfway through. Now this is rare. I've probably given up on 3 or 4 books in the past couple of years, but I still feel like I should not give up on books. The ones I've given up on have either been slightly older and they feel a bit archaic in the way they've written, or they've just not grabbed me as a story, or it's just not something I've enjoyed reading. The difficulty with that is there's a lot of books which I know I've really not enjoyed the first 100 pages. For example, Game of Thrones, the first 100 pages are boring as, and then it develops into one of the most interesting fantasy series, and I feel like there's so many other series that would be the same, and so many other books that would be the same, that I just don't give the benefit of the doubt to. And it's one of the things I'm really trying to do, is not give up on a book, even if I'm not enjoying it in the first 50, 100 pages. Give it a good go and let it, let me finish it and let me enjoy it. And I'm hoping that one sticks, because I always feel so guilty putting a book down and leaving that bookmark in and just not finishing it off. The next one is one that actually isn't too bad. I think a lot of people probably do the same thing that I do with this, and that's not reading, appendixes and introductions by other authors and the reviews they sometimes include with books, etc. I mainly go into a book, I read the main bulk of the text, and then I ignore all the extra stuff. But actually, there's been a few books recently where I've thought I've really missed out by doing that. So the most obvious one is Dune, which I've talked about recently on here, which it's a ridiculously nice 50th anniversary version that I've got, and it's got loads of really interesting appendices about the geology of the planets and the political situation, and it's all the kind of stuff that if it was in the main book I would adore to read about it, but just because I feel like I've got to the end of the story, I want to read the next book, I don't read these extra bits, and I feel like I really miss out sometimes. And that one I know is probably something a lot of people do, but I still feel like I'm not doing myself service and enjoying the book as much as I could by missing out on that. This one, I would have to say, is probably my worst crime when it comes to books, and it's page counting. I set myself these targets of how many books I want to read a year, how many books I want to read a month. I find all these books I'm so excited about, and I feel like I get so excited about reading the next book that I don't enjoy the one I'm currently reading. I spend so much of my time when I'm reading or planning what I'm going to read, working out how many pages it is, how long it's going to take me to read, how long it's going to be till I can start the next book. The Goodreads percentages telling me how far through a book I am are dangerous, because I just pay so much attention to it, and I find that I get to the point where I'm like, oh, I'll read another 50 pages so I'm near the end, rather than I'll read another 50 pages because I want to read another 50 pages. And that does a real disservice to the book, and I always feel really guilty, but it's because I get so excited about all the books I want to read that I don't feel like I fully enjoy every one. There's been a few books I've read recently, like Morning Star by Pierce Brown, which I have said to myself, look, this is a book you are really excited for, don't ruin it for yourself. And it does seem to have worked. It took me an extra couple of days than normal to read Morning Star, but I absolutely adored it. and I think that's something I'm going to try and do more often, is not try and read as many books necessarily, and just enjoy the ones I am reading a little bit more. The last bad habit I've got into is one that anyone that knows me will know I do, not just to do with books, but everything from food to TV to games to songs. Basically, I have a real tendency of describing books as one of my favourite books ever. I do this all the time. Go back and watch some of my videos, and honestly, you will see so many videos where I'm like, this is one of my favourite sci-fi books ever. It's one of my favourite books of the year. And it's just a phrase that I use so often, it loses all worth. And I found myself when I'm at work or when I'm talking to my friends about books, saying it over and over again, and it loses so much of the impact. I feel like things like the P.S. Brown books, things like some of the non-fiction I've read, Jeremy Hutchinson, which I've absolutely adored, when I say it's one of my favourite books of the past couple of years, it feels like it doesn't mean as much as it should do to those books. So it's one of those things I'm going to try and do less of. I've always thought that my review scores have always been really clustered between 7 and about 9.5, and I am going to try and use those lower numbers more and kind of reset a standard. I'm just going to try and make sure that I'm not calling every single book one of my favourites, and I'm going to hopefully see if that makes a better impact on my description and how I can talk to other people about books. So there we have it. Those are my 5 terrible, really quite guilty reading habits that I really feel like I do want to sort out. They're things that they aren't necessarily detracting from my reading experience, but I feel like if I avoided doing them, it would make the whole experience of that a little bit better. And please, please, please let me know down below if you've got any reading habits that you really, really don't feel are good ones. I know most people that I talk to have got 1 or 2 things that they aren't quite sure about, and I'd be really intrigued to know what yours are. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like and comment and subscribe down below. It's really appreciated. It means a lot to me. We're still getting subscribers really quickly, and I'm so happy to every single one of you that pushes that button. It means the world to me. But other than that, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon with my next video.